안녕하세요. 저는 조수입니다. 감사합니다. I'm back, and I'm telling you, we must have been good this year or something, because SM has given us all kinds of songs and tracks and videos and stuff. They really sort of got into the whole Christmas spirit, I guess, this year. But it's pretty cool, right? So this is Super Junior. Now, I understand that this is like an earlier generation group, right? From SM, and let's see. I'm aware of the group actually because I started watching some variety shows, right? You know how they have many popular Korean variety shows, and my favorite that I found so far is the Knowing Brothers one. I think it's Knowing Brothers, or sometimes I think it was called Men on a Mission or some such. But they often have K-pop idol groups and performers. They have all kinds of sort of celebrities, right? Like actors and athletes and just like all kinds of different people that go on their show. And it's a whole thing of not really like interviewing, but they do certain games and activities, and you learn a lot about these guests who come on the show. And actually, I know that one of the hosts of the show, Knowing Brothers, Heechul, he is one of the members of Super Junior, right? And they've had Super Junior come on the show as well, but it's a really funny show. It's like I really have a great time watching it, and Heechul's he's one of my favorite guys on there. Like he's very cool. He's very funny. He's actually super talented. Like there's some interesting things that he could do. And he's always like he's just funny, man. He's a funny guy. Like I guess I kind of relate a little bit, like personality wise. I think if I was one of the guys on the show, I would be Heechul, like out of everybody. But it's a great show with Ho Dong and everybody else on there. Like it's a really good time. But and then I saw that they had that SM had went and released this video for this song called Celebrate, and I believe they have released a new EP, and it's sort of a winter themed album, so it does have a little bit of a holiday theme to it. But then I just thought, well, it's Super Junior, man. It's if it's Heechul, man, that's my boy. So I was like, I guess I better check this one out. Like I don't want to miss it for sure. So let's check out Celebrate by Super Junior.
너와 내가 닮아가는 느낌 익숙해지는 게 어쩌면 이렇게 서로를 향한 모든 게 깊어진단 말인 듯 불이 켜진 이 거리 위 Let's celebrate 둘만의 parade 온 세상엔 하얀 눈이 Let's celebrate 춤추는 파티 긴 하루가 또 지나면 눈처럼 자국 쌓아나갈 memory 또 한 번의 이 계절이 올 때까지 함께해 always 너와 나는 모든 순간 당연한 건 없으니까 Celebrate, celebrate 사소한 것 하나라도 특별하고 놓칠 수 없어 잊지 못할 celebrate
정석에 지금 너와 especially 거리는 밤 저지된 순간에 우리 만남
같은 자리 같은 우리 Let's celebrate 약속할 테니 또 끝없이 이어지길 Let's celebrate 변함이 없길 지금처럼 모든 순간 너와 나에겐 같은 기억이 되길 또 한 번의 이 계절이 올 때까지 함께 always Celebrate, celebrate 약속해 always
Yeah, okay. See, like it's let's see, how do I say it? It definitely has like a bit of an old school feel to it. Like the synth sounds in this give it almost like an 80s type of vibe, you know. Also has very nice bass line in here that's being played very well. It's got quite a presence, and with the vocal work, it's overall, you know, it is very warm. It's a very warm kind of sound, nostalgic, sweet. This is when you have like a veteran sort of group, right? A group that like they've been doing this, you know what I mean? Like they like there's all the groups you know of now, but they were doing this like even before then, you know what I mean? And of course it's SM, so you have very, very intelligent composition, songwriting, production. Like, you know that's all going to have that certain quality, certain coolness to it, right? SM is they very have a very cool sound. Like, no matter what the group is, no matter, you know, whoever it is, whether it's a boy group, girl group, you know, an established older group, or, you know, a newer generation group, whatever, they always have a very cool sound. Like, whatever it is they're doing, right? If they like, it ends up being really cool. But no, this was a sort of a laid back, sort of mild tempo. I guess very apropos for the season, right? But it was cool. It was cool. They sound good. They sound really good. Oh man, really good vocal work. And Heechul also. That's the first time I've really heard his vocals, right? Like his for the song, for the production vocals, you know. I've heard him sing a lot of stuff, but it's usually kind of done in a silly way, you know. He's also quite good at like imitating the styles of other performers too. But to hear like his own voice in his own sort of performance recording voice, man, it's good, man. It's good. Like they're good. They're a very good group, man. They have excellent vocals. Um, it's a more laid back track, so it wasn't like anybody was trying to do anything too big, right? It's a much more sort of easy type of a song, not skill wise. I mean like easy listening, easy, like, you know what I mean. It has an easy feel to it. Like it's not supposed to be this big, grandiose thing. It's just supposed to be sort of warm and nostalgic and a little bit sweet. Yeah, it definitely does have a bit of a throwback quality to it. I'm almost reminded of like the sort of boy bands that I used to hear, back in the day. The like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, you know what I mean? Like it just, not that it sounds the same. It's just that nostalgic sort of aspect of it. You know what I mean? It just sort of reminds me of that. Even the chorus, even the little celebrate, just the way that's written and the way that it's sung, it's a bit of a nod to something that's definitely from the past, but it's good. It's good. It's a great song. I definitely hear some good instrumentation in here. We have drums that actually have like, it's a very sort of specific type of compression that's being applied to the percussion sound in this. It sounds like an electronic drum set, not synth. Like it's played, but the production on it, there's a very, very specific type of compression that is being applied to the percussion sound here to create the kind of pockets that it has, and really sort of articulate the punchiness of it. And that punchy percussion along with the synthesizer sound is what gives it almost that old school 80s type of a feel to it, Yeah, it sounds like something you could hear in a Christmas movie, right? Like on the soundtrack to some sort of a Christmas movie. Now, let's see. Okay, we're definitely in 4. There's, I believe it's a synth part, or keys at least, where you're going to hear the 16th note subdivisions, your main percussion, not too many fills, but you'll hear the 8th note subdivision there. And okay, so let's see. Chimes and bells. If you have a Christmas song, I'll always start with that chromatic chime sound, because it's whimsical and everything. And then we have the sleigh bell sound again. It's just staple, right? Like you can't get around it. Again, it's also being used the way you would use a snare drum, right? It's giving an accent on the second beat and the 4th beat of each measure, right? Boom, 2, 4. That's when you hear like that's when you hear the actual sleigh bell sound. Actually, a very nice bass drop there too.
부쩍 차가워져 깜짝 놀란
Yeah, so you hear the hat on the 16th note, right? And then you also have a synth keys sound that's or just chunking out the chords and the progression, but that's also following that 16th note, bum 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 bum, and then your main percussion, of course, that's now you hear that snare, that sort of punchy snare. It has a very tight pocket, and it's very, very like specifically placed in the mix. I'm hearing it panned right, hats left.
하늘에 달 것처럼 fly high 모든 게 꿈이었던 것 같아 영화 같은데 가득 채운 펜 넘겨보면 다 꽤 멋진 여전히 눈앞에 선명해.
Very cool rhythms on the rap section there. Those couple of measures that we got. So that's very, very good syncopation. Very good rhythm, and these ranges are relatively close to each other as far as the vocals go. You can definitely detect, who's got like the lower end sound, and then who's like got the more of the higher end sound, right? And then who sort of fills out like the mid range also. But it's very good. They sound good.
만났던 그날의 설렘이 멈출 수 없게 한 떨림이 많은 게 변해간 자리에 우리만 그대로네 Oh baby 불이 켜진 이 거리 위 Let's celebrate 둘만의 parade 온 세상엔 하얀 눈이 Let's celebrate 춤추는 파티 긴 하루가 또 지나면 눈처럼 자국 쌓아나갈 memory.
There's a guitar sound that just entered too, left side. Now your bass, for the most part, is just playing on that 16th note subdivision. This is picking up the root of each chord and the progression, doom 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 doom. And then we just had a guitar part come in too. Now I believe maybe pre-chorus, those measures that come in right before the chorus, the bass. I have to hear it again next time. It's either playing whole notes or it's playing half notes, but it eases off of the 16th note subdivision, and just has sustains each root for it's either a whole note or it's a half note, but it's substantially a larger subdivision once it gets to that part. But the synth sounds in this are very retro, like very, very throwback sounds, each one. Your synth keys, these occasional sort of arpeggiations that come in, they add color. They create something that's a little bit interesting and different as this song is progressing through its different sections. And all of the colors, though, they all have a sort of nostalgic type of, tinge, right? A nostalgic hue, like, to each sound. It has that, 80s vibe or whatever, like 80s Christmas movie soundtrack vibe.
또 한 번의 이 계절이 올 때까지 함께 always 처음엔 달랐지만 조금씩 물들어가 너와 내가 닮아가는 느낌 익숙해지는 게 어쩌면 이렇게 서로를 향한 모든 게 깊어진단 말인 듯해 불이 켜진 이 거리 위 Let's celebrate 둘만의 parade 온 세상엔 하얀 눈이 Let's celebrate 춤추는 파티 긴 하루가 또 지나면 눈처럼 자국 쌓아나갈 memory 또 한 번의 이 계절이 올
So this has maybe a quite like a different feel, right? This section here, I don't know if we call this a bridge here, but the colors change a little bit. I was actually gonna say it feels a little bit more like blue, right? This sort of sound here, and we see the blue background also. Um, the type of bass sounds that are being used here is a little bit, we're getting a little bit more synth, a little bit more electronic, so it sounds a little bit more modern as opposed to being something a little bit more throwback. The incorporation of snaps, as opposed to your snare hits there. And in this, we just got a bass drop, right? And the mix is going to change up here, too. It's going to get a lot more airy, a little bit more minimalist. And we got this this sort of rap section that goes, this sounds a little bit more modern also. Compression on the vocals, that sort of like telephone filter almost, yeah, much more of a modern touch, a modern, flavor there. Very ballady. Oh, the little shuffle in the hat now. Yes, like it became much more ballady, right? Oh, and this sound right here too, this just came back, these strings that come in, this sound just very, very cinematic almost, like the majestic, just, of course, once you have like string sounds that come in, it has a much more classic kind of sound to it, bringing back the sleigh bells, that sort of pitched percussion element. So it has this very symphonic type of a texture to it, It's quite a way to give it it's a strong ending. It's a strong contrast to the rest of the song. The change up here feels like a bit dramatic, not overly dramatic, but it is quite an impactful type of a change here. Very nice, very nice runs on the strings there. These little fills, these little flourishes, right? Very nice, very nice. What a way to sort of cap, the end of the song there. It was good. It was good, man. It was good. I definitely would like to go back and check out some of Super Junior stuff, because it took me a while to figure out like who everybody on the Knowing Brothers show was, I was like, I didn't know who any of them were, but quite a lot of them have worked in all the entertainment industries, from sports to music to movies. You have like producers, you have and they used to work for the companies like that we know, you know what I mean? They used to work for SM, and so they have quite an interesting perspective on it, and it's just fun. That's kind of one of the reasons why I probably enjoyed the show the most. The way they can relate to all of the guests that come through and make their appearances and stuff. And yeah, and so, once I understood that, Heechul was in this group, Super Junior, and it was an older generation SM group, and okay, like I started putting all those things together, and I said, well, no wonder, you know what I mean? Like, no wonder. But yeah, they sound really, really good. They have some incredible vocals going on here. They just like, it's an older generation group, but they're doing their thing. You know what I mean? Like, they're just, and they still sound good, man. They still sound really good. I'd have to, of course, go back and listen to something earlier to really know, you know what I mean, and see, compare it to the older sound. And, I'm sure the nature of this track being a little bit more laid back, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them being a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more upbeat in some of the older tracks. And so it would just be interesting to go back and listen to more. Gonna have to check out some earlier Super Junior stuff. And but it was fun. It was fun. It does have a great warm and nostalgic kind of sound. It's a very good song for the holiday, and it has that quality that you get from not just SM, but an established, seasoned veteran type of a group, that knows who they are. You see that you hear it in the performance and the delivery of the vocals, but you also see it in the way that they are able to interact with each other and things like that. You can tell that they've been friends and group members for a long time, and and Heechul had a great part, man. A great part. He's got a good voice. He's got a really good voice, really good. It was cool. It's cool to see, to listen, to hear his actual performance voice. You know what I mean? That's very cool. Very cool stuff, man. SM's really just giving us a whole lot of content for the holidays, so that's super cool, man. That's really fun. That's really enjoyable. And it's been really just something else to see everything that they've been doing, So that part's been really fun, and we're getting closer. We're getting closer to Christmas, So I mean, it's almost here, right? Just a couple more days, and it'll be Christmas time. So of course, once again, I'd like to say Merry Christmas and wish everybody happy holidays, right? Jugayon yanmal yanchi boneseo. I hope everybody enjoys the holidays very much. It's good. I think everybody just sort of needs that this year, right? Especially, right? So let's have a good time and let's enjoy it. I really appreciate everybody for coming to check out the videos, all the subscribers this year alone. You guys have really just given me a lot, just the idea that anybody cared, that anybody watches, that anybody subscribed, and how much I enjoy interacting with everybody in the comment section and everything. I couldn't ask for anything more, so thank you. That was Super Junior with Celebrate. Very warm, nostalgic, sweet kind of a song for the holidays. And I'll definitely check out more from Super Junior, man. I gotta appreciate the group and my boy Heechul. So we'll definitely be doing that too.